we have hopefully exciting news or potentially exciting news about Doom of Dimensions, the next core set. And we have Doom Z. Doom Z is a new archetype, and it is related to Medius the Pure. So this is the second archetype that is part of the new main lore themes. I don't know. Someone in chat right now is saying they seem like the villains to the Archmages, maybe, but more Medius the Pure support. So we're gonna take a look at these and see what's up with that. See if they're related. I mean, they are related lore wise, but are they related gameplay wise to the Archmages? And how is that going to work? Or is it like a different deck basically? First of all, the artworks are looking kind of nice here. I do like the look of this archetype. Once again, let's see what they got effect wise. We have Doom Z0 Drastia, a level 8 Dark Dragon, 2400 attack, 1500 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can target a Doom Z card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Then you can equip an equip spell from your deck to it. Any equip spell, okay. That has applications. I'm telling you right now, that's gonna have applications. While this card is equipped with an equip card, quick effect, you can special summon a Wind Machine Xyz monster from your extra deck with a rank equal to this card's level. This is treated as an Xyz summon, and if you do, attach this card and all cards equipped to it to that monster. Okay. That is an interesting way to rank up, I suppose. So it seems like this theme is, while the Archmages are entirely fusion focused, this theme is Xyz focused. Interesting first card. Let's read the rest before we draw too many conclusions. But this one is interesting. Equip any equip spell from your deck to it. That's gonna have some interesting applications for sure. Doom Z5. Amalfi, Dark Dragon, level 4, 1600, 1200. You can only use the first and second once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned or destroyed by card effect, you can add a Doom Z monster from your deck to your hand, except Doom Z5 Amalfi. While this card is equipped with an equip card, quick effect, you can special summon a Wind Machine Xyz monster from your extra deck with a rank equal to this card's level. Okay, they all do this. Or, I mean, the first two do this. They rank up into something else by being equipped. All right. Interesting. It's any Wind Machine Exceed with the same rank as the level that you're ranking up with, right? So like this ranks up into any Wind rank 8. I don't know if there's any already existing targets for this, but interesting. Don't make them level 9. Okay, level 9. What are you referring to? Are you referring to the Phantom Fortress Enter Blathnir? Is that a Wind Machine? Hand loop. Yeah, that would be dangerous, but that is a rank 9. All right. Doom Z7 Alara. Level 4 Dark Dragon. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned or destroyed by card effect, you can set a Doom Z spell trap from your deck. While this card is equipped with an equip card to quick effect, you can special summon a Wind Machine. Okay, same thing. All right, so we've got add any Doom Z monster. We've got set any Doom Z spell trap. All right, not the worst main deck monsters to have. Ooh, the new Power Patron. Okay, so this is... So far, this seems like there was a theory out there. I don't know who said it first or whatever, but I remember people saying or guessing that the Medius the Pure lore is going to be... It's going to have different archetypes, and the way that Medius connects them all is by having access to the different Power Patrons, right? Like every archetype so far, which is 2, has had one main deck Power Patron, right? Like for Archmage is the little owl. That's the Power Patron, the Archmage Power Patron, and this one is the Doom Z Power Patron. And so Medius is it's kind of cool actually, if you really think about it, Medius is like the centerpiece of these strategies because it accesses all their individual power patrons, right? Which is pretty cool because that way Medius becomes a good card in all of these decks, right? Like that I think was one of the weirdest parts to me personally of the Dia Bellstar lore, because Dia Bellstar was not that central of a piece to some of the decks that it was involved with, right? Like in some of these lore decks for Dia Bellstar was just not that good, right? Like in for example, it was crazy for Snake Eyes. But in like Goblin Biker, Dia Bellstar did basically nothing. And in White Forest as well, there was no application realistically for Dia Bellstar. I mean, theoretically, there were targets for Dia Bellstar in White Forest, but it wasn't really... It was more used to like set like Deception, which was the Azamina card. Like Dia Bellstar had strong synergy with Snake Eye and Azamina, but not so much with the other ones. It feels like Medius is going to have strong applications for each of these decks if all of them have a power patron. So you can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You cannot special from the extra deck except Xyz monsters. This is very similar to the other power patron. The other power patron locks you into fusions because that is part of the fusion deck. You can target one other effect monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck one Doom Z Xyz monster or Jupiter, the power patron of destruction, with a rank equal to the level of that monster you control by using it as material. This is treated as an Xyz summon, and if you do, equip this card you control to it. If this card is destroyed, you can add a Doom Z card from your deck to your hand. Okay. Simple. So, if you summon this with Medius the Pure, right, this feels very, very similar to the Owl in terms of the design on the card, right? This is basically the same card as the Owl, but for the Doom Z deck, right? Because when you summon the Owl with Medius, it gives you the ability to fusion summon, and you can make Deactorus with the Medius immediately, right? So Medius becomes a one-card fusion into the Deactorus, which is part of the deck strategy, right? And this one, I mean, we're going to have to read the Exceeds in a second, but this one is very similar because if you summon this with Medius, you have the ability to rank up into a rank 4 with the Medius, right? Because the way it's going to work is you're going to target the Medius, you're going to special summon the rank 4, and then this is going to be equipped to it, which is actually quite cool because then you can like destroy it for the Drastia because it's going to be in a Doom Z card on your field, or if the Xyz monster leaves the field, this is going to be destroyed by Game Mechanic as an equipped card, and then it's going to let you add a card. So that's neat, right? So it's basically almost exactly the same thing as the Owl, but for this deck. Okay, here's the new, and once again, very similar pattern here. Here's the new power patron in the extra deck. Remember, Archmage also had a power patron for the extra deck. It was the fusion monster that needed like 3 monsters with different types, which was decently powerful, but not super strong. Here we have a rank 10 wind machine monster. Needs 3 level 10 monsters. Once per turn, you can also special summon it by using a monster you control equipped with 3 or more equip cards. Once again, similar to the other power patron, this one is technically generic. Like, you could make this in any deck that can somehow equip something with 3 equip cards. Like, I don't know, my Fiendsmith brain, first thing I can think of is if you make an Agnum Day and then you bring back a monster and then you equip Sequence and Requiem to it, you could theoretically make this as well, right? Or, you know, Power Tool, Mikanko, whatever, Marincess, yeah, all those, there's decks that can make this, I guess, but Marincess, I think, is locked into water. Anyways, if this card is Xyz summoned, you can equip any number of appropriate equip spells from your graveyard to it. Gains 3000 attack while it has an Xyz monster as material. Once per turn, you can detach a material from this card, special summon a Doom Z monster from your graveyard, then you can destroy a card in the field. I I feel like the most interesting part, I mean, it has some implications for going second here because it could potentially get really big and it could potentially destroy, like extend and destroy a card on the field. This is a neat effect when you're playing into a board. It's nothing too crazy. It's really nothing too crazy. This I think is the interesting effect here. Like, I feel like in this deck, you're gonna maybe want to pair it with some other equip spell engine. Maybe they have their own broken equip spells. We'll see. But like re-equipping equip spells from the grave could be interesting. Then we have Doomsday and Drastrius. So this is the rank 8 that you are supposed to summon with Drastia, right? Rank 8 Wind Machine Exceed. Usually it's 3 level 8 monsters, so not easy to summon. While it is generic in other decks, it's definitely way easier to summon it with the rank up mechanic. You can only use the first and third effect once per turn. If this card is Exceed summoned, you can equip one other face-up monster on the field to it. Okay, is the rank up a quick effect? Ooh, it is. It is a quick effect. That's a neat disruption. That is a neat disruption. If you can rank up on the opponent's turn, non-target, equip a monster to it, that's not bad. The first time this card will be destroyed by a battle or card effect each turn, it's not destroyed. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field or in the graveyard, quick effect, you can detach a material from this card, negate that effect, then you can equip a face-up monster your opponent controls to this card. Okay. This is a powerful end board piece, I feel like. This is a powerful rank up on the opponent's turn with Drastia. That's going to mean, that is probably going to mean you are going to want to leave this on your field when you pass turn, right? You want to, this is, because then this alone, this card alone is going to be a very strong disruption on the opponent's turn, right? Because what you can do on the opponent's turn is quick effect, rank up into the Drastrius, and on summon, this will equip a monster to it, and then when your opponent continues to play, you can still negate a monster effect on field or graveyard, and then also equip a monster to it once again. So that is a pretty good end board piece for the deck already. Yeah. I do kind of like these sort of decks that incentivize you to keep your monsters on the field instead of turning them into extra deck monsters on your turn immediately, because that is typically, it's usually healthier if decks leave their main deck monsters on the board because they want to do something with them on the opponent's turn, because that disincentivizes like crazy link spamming and stuff like that. You can summon the main deck guy with spheres. Yes, but it's not equipped with anything then. Like, it's a dragon that you can summon with heavenly spheres, but then it does need to be equipped with an equip card to have that rank up effect. So that is another thing, you know. Okay, and then we have a rank 4. So it's a very, very similar concept to Archmage. It's crazy actually. The parallels between this and Archmage are quite apparent, I feel like. It's a very similar concept, just for exceeds, which I think this is good so far, because I said in the past that I was a little scared of the main lore archetype because of what happened with the Bellstar. I think it's good that not all of these cards go into the same deck, right? Like, because then we would probably just end up with another like tier 0 Snake Eye situation where if they make more cards for all of the same deck, then it would eventually just end up being too powerful. I feel like this is cool because it's Archmage, but not in the Archmage deck. It's just like another use case for Medius. Like, you can use Medius for Archmage, or you can use Medius for Doomsday. As far as I can tell so far, they don't have much to do with each other, except for the fact that Medius is a centerpiece for both decks, right? But yeah. Okay. Anyways, we have a Doomsday Break Deactorus. Here we can even see similar names again. Rank 4 Wind Machine. Generic 2 level 4s. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each turn. If this card is special summoned, you can destroy a Doom Z card in your hand or face-up field. Then you can destroy a monster on the field. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, while it has a Doom Z monster or Medius the Pure as material, you can add to your hand or send to the grave an equip spell from your deck. Okay, so that's a cool rank 4. This is once again a disruption on the opponent's turn if you rank up using one of these two, because they are also quick effects to rank up on the opponent's turn. It lets you destroy the Doomsies in your hand because they all have effects when they are destroyed, except for this one. But the 2 level 4s and the Power Patron, they have effects when they are equipped, when they are destroyed, rather. It makes it so Medius is a strong 1-card combo in this deck, right? Because what you can do is you can go Medius, special out Power Patron Machine Doom Z, use this effect to rank up into the rank 4 by using the Medius as material. On special summon, you can destroy the Power Patron Machine Doom Z that is equipped to the Xyz monster. You're gonna have to destroy itself, right? Because you do have to... Oh, no, you can destroy a monster. You don't actually have to destroy itself. You could, though, because it has an effect on destruction. But you can also... You could theoretically just destroy the Power Patron Machine Doom Z and get the search with it. Or you could even destroy itself, add to your hand, or send to the grave an equip spell from your deck. Oh, wait, there's even more things you can do. Because, okay, hear me out. We go normal summon Medius, special Power Patron Doom Z, effect of Power Patron Doom Z, rank up into the rank 4. Rank 4 effect, only destroy the equip spell, don't destroy anything else unless you're going second. Effect of this, add a Doom Z card from your deck to your hand. We're gonna add Drastia. Then we're going to destroy the rank 4 with Drastia. Because, yeah, and then we're going to summon the Drastia from hand. We're going to equip any equip spell from the deck to it, as well as trigger this thing's graveyard effect to add to hand or send to grave any equip spell from the deck. That's cool. That gives you access to any 2 equip spells. That also, you know what that does? You can Pot of Greed with that. You can Pot of Greed with the Bamboo Swords. Maybe it's finally time for the Bamboo Swords, dude. I've been waiting for this moment forever. Because what you can do is you can equip this with Cursed Bamboo Sword from your deck. You can, when this is destroyed, you can send another Cursed Bamboo Sword from your deck to the graveyard to add a Golden Bamboo Sword from your deck to your hand. And you can activate that Golden Bamboo Sword immediately because you have the Cursed Bamboo Sword on this one. And then when you rank this up into the rank 8, the equip spell is attached as a material to the rank 8. And then when it's sent to the graveyard, you can get another search with the Bamboo Sword. Just a thought. But they probably also have their own equip spells. Interesting stuff. The thing is, none of the things that I just said, none of that stuff that I just said is actually that broken. That it's all decent. It's good, but it's not like completely absurd. Like none of that is even close to like a Snake Eye Ash, whatever. Like that is, yeah. Might be coping, but aren't these broken in Mikanko as a side engine? I don't care about Mikanko at this point in time. Like I feel like maybe, but I don't really. Doomsday Raider, continuous spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name per turn, only once that turn. During your main phase, you can destroy one other Doomsday card in your hand or face-up field, add to your hand or special summon a Doomsday from your deck. Also, you can't special summon for the rest of this turn from the extra deck except Xyz. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can target a face-up monster on the field, destroy it. Okay, I like it. They get their own Dragonic Diagram. which seems very fitting for this archetype because a lot of them do trigger on destruction. It locks you into exceeds, which I think is very, very good. I think this is very necessary because this does one very important thing for this lore archetype. Or it's more like a Zodiac Barrage. That's true because most of the time you're going to special summon. Locking into exceeds is very healthy for this because this prevents people from playing all of the lore stuff in the same deck, and it just gets more and more powerful the more cards are printed. So this is a card that you can basically only really play in Doom Z, which is neat. And I guess you could pair Doom Z with other decks that exceed summon, but fine. Good card though. Not a one card combo, which is good. Needs another card to function, which I really like to see. I like when they do more of that kind of stuff. And here's the first equip spell: Doom Z Command Doom Durg. Equip spell. Once per turn during the standby phase, inflict 500 damage to the equipped monster's controller. A Doom Z monster equipped with this card or a wind machine exceeds that has it as a material gains these effects. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Once per turn, quick effect. You can destroy one other face-up card you control. Also, until the end of this turn, this card gains attack equal to its own level rank times 100. It can attack directly. Also, if it battles, destroy it at the end of the damage step. This doesn't feel that good to me, especially since it's the only equip spell, it seems like, because we're moving on to the traps. This does not feel very strong. I feel like this heavily incentivizes you to pair this deck with other equip spells. Like, I think this deck is going to want to play more equip spells than just this. Maybe it's a one-of because it gives you the ability to destroy more cards, which might be okay, but sure. The trap ruins it entirely. Okay, let me read the trap. Doom Z Destruction. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Target a Doom Z Exceeds monster you control. Equip this card to it as an equip card with this effect. Your opponent cannot add cards from the deck to the hand except by drawing them. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can target a face-up monster on the field. Equip a Doom Z monster from your deck to it. Okay. So target a Doom Z Exceeds you control. Equip this card to it as an equip material. Dude, you know what? This card has essentially, dude, I've gone from hoping that this deck was going to be good because all of this so far seemed pretty fun to me. Like, especially the way it interacts with the opponent, right? I felt like it was cool. Of course, there was a monster negate on the rank 8. But, like, it couldn't even negate, like, Nibiru. It was just, like, a monster effect on the field or graveyard. I was, like, fine with that. And then, like, equipping stuff, like, it was like, okay, you can equip cards from your opponent to it as a disruption. You can destroy a card with some stuff as a disruption. I was fine with it. And I was like, all of this is super cool, and I'm hoping this is a good deck. And then this is there, and I'm like, now I don't want it to be a good deck anymore. Now I just don't want the deck to be good. People are saying the trap isn't searchable. What do you mean the trap isn't searchable? Isn't there literally a... This one says, set a Doom Z spell trap from your deck. Of course it's searchable. So the thing that I'm worried about is not that they have the ability to turn one of their monsters into a Colossus, because like Colossus is legal, and it's kind of been established that Colossus, at the moment at least, is not really a problem, even though it could become a problem in the future again. But like, if that's the only thing a deck does, then it's probably okay. The problem that I see here is that it feels more like this deck already does a lot of things, and then this is just like the cherry on top. This is like the bonus that you randomly get, sometimes for free, if you summon or destroy the Elara, you just get like a one-off trap from your deck that just turns your monster into a Colossus on top of what you're already doing, right? Like you're still getting the monster negate, the ability to equip your opponent's cards to it, and then like it does mean that the deck is going to be very, very focused on that one monster. Like for example, like the problem is it's still going to turn into like a draw the out situation, right? Like you're going to have to, like if it's all of their disruption at the moment for the most part is going to be concentrated into the Drastrius, right? The Drastrius is the one that equips a monster on summon, negates a monster effect, equips another monster, and then it's going to get the trap card equipped to it to stop the opponent from searching. Like all that is probably going to be concentrated into the Drastrius, which means that if you have one out to the Drastrius, Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, Ultimate Slayer, Kaiju, Kurikara, any of that nature, right? The deck is going to be very vulnerable to that. So I don't want to like doom, you know, like this is not a fun card. I don't think this is a well-designed card. Ultimately, maybe it's fine, right? It's kind of like the Ricehard situation, right? Which wasn't pleasant. Ricehard was definitely overtuned. But still, like Kashtira format was still playable if you had an out to the Ricehard, which is not the greatest argument, like draw the out. So the card is not well designed. I don't like the fact that this card exists. I think the archetype looked a lot more fun beforehand. But like gameplay wise, it could still be fine. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. Oh, I thought that was it because that was a trap card, but oh wait, there is Archmage stuff here. Theorealize. Oh wait, there's Archmages. Theorealize Overdrive. Okay, so this is okay. Hold up. Before we get into the Archmage cards, because there is some Archmage cards. How do I feel about this archetype? I liked it a lot until the trap card came around. Now the trap card seems kind of cringe to me. I'm not a huge fan of the design of the trap card. Still, power level wise, this feels relatively similar to Archmage so far, because it is. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's very, very similar to Archmage in terms of the card quality. Right, I said the same thing about Archmage. Like Archmage, I felt like does not have enough cards yet, but the card quality is decently high, and I think the same can be said about Doom Z. A lot of these cards are very high quality cards. You know, like effect on normal summon. All of these, they go +1 on summon. They have the rank up ability. Goes +1 on summon. Has the rank up ability. The power patron is good. Very similar to the Archmage Owl. They got some extra deck tools. One of them is particularly strong. Like for example, in Archmage, the Deactorus is a pretty good extra deck monster. So it's basically Archmage for Exceeds, but it has the trap card, which is pretty cringe. But power level wise, even though I don't like the trap card, it's probably okay. Like, I don't think this does not strike me as a too powerful deck, right? Like it's solid, but I don't feel like it is too powerful. And the trap card floodgate effect is cringe, but cringe does not always mean broken. Cringe and broken often go hand in hand, but not always. So overall, I still think it's cool. I hate the trap card, but I still think it's cool. I still think it's a solid archetype. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, more Archmages, which is now, as of reading the trap card, Archmage is my favorite again. I'm rooting for Archmages more than I'm rooting for Doom Z because of this trap card. Okay, so it seems like though the cards that are called Theorealize are just Medius related, right? Like there is a card called Theorealize in in Duelist's Advance, and I think that has nothing to do with Archmage. It is just Medius. And I think from what I'm at first glance, this seems the same. So Theorealize Overdrive is a quick play spell that says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Target a Medius the Pure in your grave or banishment, special summon it. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your grave, then target a face-up monster you control and declare a level from 1 to 10. Its level becomes the declared level until the end of this turn. This card is not particularly good, mainly because I don't know if the Theorealize stuff is searchable at all. The reason why I don't think it's a terrible card, like I genuinely don't think it's just bad, like some of you guys are saying, is that it's a quick play spell card, because Medius effect works on normal and special summon. And so you can bring out Medius on the opponent's turn with this and get his effect again to summon the Power Patron. And I believe the Archmage Power Patron is a quick effect to fusion summon. So you could potentially like bring out a you could bring it out on your opponent's turn. So it's like during the main phase quick effect, which by the way, that's a huge difference between this Power Patron and the Doom Z Power Patron. The Doom Z Power Patron cannot rank up on the opponent's turn. This one is a ignition effect, not a quick effect to fuse, which is different. I mean, that's a lot worse. So in theory, you can still, this is basically like a fusion spell on the opponent's turn if you think about it. Right? It's like bring out a Medius that brings out the Power Patron. The Power Patron fuses. It's not that bad. Genuinely, it's not that bad. The problem is that I don't know if it's searchable. If this was called Archmage or something, then it'd be good. If you could just search it, then as a one-of, that genuinely would have uses. Yeah, it's more like a Branded in Red. That's actually a good comparison. But it's like an unsearchable Branded in Red, right? Which is like, would Branded in Red be considered a good card if it was not searchable? Like if it wasn't called Branded in Red? I don't know, right? And so I think that's what makes it mediocre. Like you probably wouldn't play Branded in Red as a 3-of and just hope to draw it, right? And because that's kind of what this card is requiring you to do. Okay, Archmage Movement Lineage. Normal spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You cannot special monsters from the extra deck. The turn you activate either of this card's effects except fusion monsters. Once again, before I even read the effects of this cards, I love how I feel like they're more careful with the locks on this archetype. Or like on these lore archetypes. I love this. I love that there is more cards here that say, okay, only do fusion if you're playing Archmage. Only do Exceed if you're playing Doom Z. Like that is a good development. That is necessary. Especially when it comes to these lore archetypes that tend to get support for the entire year, right? That was the biggest problem with Snake Eyes, is that they basically were the main archetypes, so they got more and more and more and more support, and it was way too generic. So I like that they're, hopefully this means they're more careful about that. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon an Archmage monster from your deck in defense position with a different name from the cards you control. Okay, so you can only use this going second, basically. If this card is sent to the grave to activate the effect of Archmage, Academic, Arcane Arts, Acropolis, you can add an Archmage trap from your grave or banishment to your hand. Oh, okay. Okay. I like the design on this card a lot. Just bring up I'm gonna bring up Archmage Acropolis real quick to explain why I like the design on this card a lot. So the Academic Arts is the field spell for Archmage, and it's a very, very central piece for the deck. They have like 9 ways to search this card or something. And it's a very, very central, like, important card for the deck. And the gimmick of this thing is that it's a non-once per turn. You can discard a spell trap and declare an Archmage monster that you haven't named yet and add it to your hand. So, like, you can just discard spells and traps over and over and over to add different Archmage monsters. And that is the gimmick of the Acropolis, basically. That's why it's such a central piece. or this deck. And I was thinking about, like, I would really like to have more good discards for this, right? Because if you make an archetype or like a card that is so centralized on discarding spell traps, there aren't many good spell traps you can just discard. Why did they have to insert a lock for the second effect for the new spells? Because it's healthy. Dude, the locks are good. I don't get why anyone is complaining about locks right now. Are you crazy? Anyways, I'm moving on. I like the fact that this is a good discard for the field spell. So basically, going first, this does nothing but being a solid discard for the field spell, which is arguably maybe not good enough, but it's also maybe it's enough, because going second, it's a really good card, right? Like it's like that card design where you make a card that's just okay going first, but it becomes really strong when you're going second. So I think that's cool. But yeah. I'm just wondering why it has to add from grave or banishment. Why can't it add from deck as well? I feel like that would have been fine if this was actually, then it would be a really good discard for the field spell. Next up, we have a trap card, Archmage Peripetea Turmoil. Normal trap card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can't special from the extra deck the turn you activate either of this card's effects except fusions. Target a monster in your opponent's graveyard. Return an Archmage you control to the hand, extra deck. And if you do, special summon the target monster to your field, but its effects are negated. If this card is sent to the grave to activate the effect of Archmage Academic Arcane Arts Acropolis, you can add an Archmage spell from your grave or banishment to your... I like this a lot as well. This is like this. This is the same, but even cooler. Because this is like... So what you're supposed to do, I would imagine, is you discard any Archmage spell from your hand for the first activation of the Acropolis. Then for the second activation, you discard the trap, add back the spell, and then you can potentially discard this one as well to add back the trap after. Stuff like that. You know, that's neat. This is a very fun interruption, actually. This is a very, very fun interruption for Archmage in particular, because it disrupts your opponent's graveyard in a cool way. Because you take the monster, you get it to your field, which even lets you maybe resolve some of your effects. It's like, yeah, it's like a shark cannon. It's like a shark cannon, but it helps you fulfill the requirement of some of the Archmage cards, because you need like monsters with different types, right? Which is important for Archmage. This is very cool. Both of these, once again, I think Archmage is already a cool deck. And I refuse to call like cards bad just because they're not broken. Because none of these cards are broken. They really aren't. These cards are just solid and they're fun. And I would like to endorse that more than, oh, this card is not Snake Eye Ash, or this card is not whatever else you name it, you know? Like I like this, especially considering that this is the new lore archetype and they are bound to get more support in the future. Like there's a difference between strong and broken. I think these cards are strong, they're not broken. And I think in general, I think Archmage is better than you guys give it credit for right now. It's just that there's other stuff in the game right now that is just more broken than it. And I think it's good that they are leaning more into designs like this currently. So the only thing that I'm wondering, or like one of the big things that I feel like is missing for Archmage, is I feel like they need more fusion monsters. Because these locks are strict, you know, like the entire turn. This is not even the rest of the turn. This is the turn. The entire turn you activate either of these effects, you are locked into fusions. So This is like a branded fusion type lock, right? And so like I feel like Archmage needs like at least one more fusion monster that's worth going into before we can like actually do it. Because I feel like that's the two things I think Archmage is missing is like we need a new Archmage fusion monster, and we also need like another way to fusion summon, right? Because I think the only way that Archmage has to fusion summon is this guy right now. Or do they have a... I don't think they have a fusion spell. Maybe they do. Let me quit. Archmage. No, they do have a quick play fusion spell already. Okay, never mind. They do have a fusion spell. Okay, fine. They do have Archmage Masterwork Succession. During the main phase, fusion summon a fusion monster using one. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So scratch that. They don't need another fusion spell. They have one. They just need another fusion monster. That's really good. Can this fuse Guardian Chimera? It can fuse Guardian Chimera. Okay, well, you can go Guardian Chimera already. You have the Deactorus. Yeah, okay. Nah, dude, I just think these cards are fine. I think these cards are fine. I think the fact that these cards are not broken is good news. I like this. I'm a fan of Archmage. I think the gameplay of the deck looks fun, and I don't want that to be ruined by an incredibly broken card. Because I feel like if we just keep designing, if they just keep designing more and more broken archetypes, we can never really go into a direction where decks are quote unquote fairer. And I think it's like, I think this is a process that takes time, but I think we should embrace some of these archetypes more that are solid but not broken. Archmage Holy Sue when? Dude, Holy Sue is such a fun card to play with. It's crazy. Doomsy will get more support in the following set. Yeah, it will. And Archmage probably will too, right? I mean, we are, that's the thing, right? That's why I feel like this is good news. We are stuck, quote unquote, with these archetypes for an entire year. Remember how long Snake Eyes got support? Remember how long these decks got more and more cards? Like, if these were insane tier 1 decks after the second set, we would be getting like 8 more months of these cards. Like, I think that's important to understand here. Like, the only thing that I want from these decks is to be like tier 2 playable as of now, because we're getting them for the entire year. Like, don't worry about it. I think these decks will be playable at some point, personally. I think if they were already super strong after Doom of Dimension, we would all be crying about it by this set, when this set comes out. And then in the set after it, there's going to be more cards, and everyone is going to be rolling their eyes, and they're going to be like, why do they make more support for the decks that are already so powerful? Like, everyone would be complaining about this, like we all did last year. Like we all complained about this last year, or I mean, most of us, not everyone. But like the majority were like sick of Snake Eyes by Phantom Nightmare, and we got more and more support for the entire year, even after they were hit on a ban list. And I was like, why are we getting more Snake Eyes support when the deck was just hit on a ban list to make it weaker? And now people are out here criticizing the fact that the cards that they are getting in the second set of the year, or the second year of the cycle, the second set of the cycle, have like a lock for fusion monsters that seems a little bit too harsh and is stopping the deck from being the best deck in the format or something like that. Like, why are we complaining about that? That's good. We should embrace that. Because if these were too broken, then we would be complaining for the entirety of 2025 and 2026 probably. So I don't understand this. What matters to me is that Archmage seems fun to play, and it's getting some new tools that are also fun to play with. And I think that's cool. That's good enough. This is good news. I like this news. I will complain no matter what. I mean, I understand it, right? Because part of me, because I like Archmage so far, I part of me was hoping like, yeah, let's give him a really good card. Let's make him meta, right? But then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, if they become meta in Doom of Dimension, it's going to be really hard for them to design balanced cards or just even okay cards for the rest of the year. Because even, once again, I'm drawing the comparison to the last lore archetype. For Snake Eyes, because Snake Eyes were so powerful, it even found ways to make cards that at first glance didn't even seem that busted. They turned out completely insane. Like cards like Snake Eyes Diabellstar, which my initial reaction at Snake Eyes Diabellstar was like, you know, it's a fine card, it's a cool card, but I feel like Snake Eyes is already so powerful that they're not going to make room for it immediately. And like, even if it wasn't, probably in a vacuum, Snake Eyes Diabellstar was a fine card, but because Snake Eye was so good, they found a way to make it so broken, you know? Like, there's a couple of those cards for Snake Eyes that, like, they brought out a little later than the original, after the original waves of support, and they just were incredibly powerful because the deck was so broken from the get-go. So yeah. I think this is a cool batch of cards. I like the Doomsday archetype except for the trap card, but we'll see how big of a problem the trap card even really is. I mean, the fact that it is a equip card on a monster makes it arguably the easiest to out card that you could imagine, right? Because it's an equip card that is attached to a monster. So outing the monster outs the equip card. So any monster removal will out the equip card. But also, because it's the equip card that gives it the effect, it means that any spell trap removal also removes that effect from the board. So like, maybe it's okay. Because all you need is a way to remove a card from the field, whether it's a monster or a back row card, and then you can get rid of the lock. So maybe it's okay, but we'll see.